Hi everyone, it's James from Eurovision Ireland back for a very special edition of Review Into, Eurovision Ireland's lightning fast review show. Usually we talk about songs heading to the Eurovision Song Contest in Europe. This time around we're going to take a look at the songs heading to the inaugural edition of the Eurovision Song Contest Asia, which is taking place in Bangkok in Thailand later this year, and we absolutely cannot wait for that. If you're new to the Review Into format, what I'll do is 2 minutes or less on every song heading to Eurovision Asia. I'll talk about what I like, anything I think they can improve on. Never any hate, just a difference of opinion and sending a lot of love around the world from Europe to Asia and beyond. So sit back, relax, enjoy the videos, let me know in the comments below what you think, and let's see what the Eurovision Song Contest Asia has in store for us. You won't want to miss this. So our first ever Review Into for Eurovision Asia goes out to Bhutan, Nyendra and Lhayi Semo. Now, I don't know much about the Bhutanese music scene, but the moment this guy appears on stage, the crowd went wild. So I'm like, okay, they clearly love him. That's always a good sign. That's always one to watch. The song, it starts out, it's very soft, very gentle musically. It feels a little bit folky. There's a little bit of a string instrument twanging away in there. I thought, okay, that's nice. I like the way he's dressed. I feel like that's a nod to traditional culture, which always works at Eurovision. It'll be interesting to see if the same applies to Eurovision Asia. The song feels a little bit indie, quite emotional. It put me a little bit in mind of Callum Scott and Dancing on My Own. Sort of that vibe to it. I love the fact that it's in Dzongkha. I wasn't sure what the language sounded like before today, but I'm really happy. It sounds really cool. And I love the fact that he just switches it to English for that first little bit. So he starts in Dzongkha, a little bit of English. I'm like, yes, you've done your homework. You know how Eurovision works. I think bilingualism in a contest setting always works really, really well. So very happy to see that. Staging wise, it's a lot of close-up camera work. It's focusing on him, which I think always works. I know a lot of people love Eurovision for, the big wacky sets and, lots going on. I think that a singer who can perform well and just connect with the camera and sell the song down the camera, I think that always works. It's always a really good thing to go for. And I feel like Nyendra knows exactly how to do that. The crowd got behind him, which is fantastic. They loved him. I think it also shows that simple staging, you don't need it to be wild and crazy. Just something simple and heartfelt always plays really, really well. Now, this is usually the part of the review where I talk about, what are the chances of winning and sort of compared to previous entries. As this is the very first song in the national selections for Eurovision Asia, I don't have a lot of data to compare it to, so I can only talk about it from a Eurovision perspective. I think it has the chance to do well, and I would absolutely love it to do well. I very nearly went to Bhutan this year, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't, because it looks absolutely incredible there. Will this win for Bhutan? I would love to see it do well, and I think a simple song performed well will always do well, but I think it's very early in the game. We've got a lot of other countries yet to sort of see what's being added to the Eurovision Asia pot, but I think this is a very strong start, and Nyendra, yeah, good job, fantastic.